How's it going, everybody? What happened to my... Okay. Guess I clicked something that made it go to something else. All right. And again, we have Sunday study with Luke, Mondays, and then Tuesdays and Wednesdays will be very short columns. They're very small. That's the way the book did it. And it'll be in perfect rhythm. There won't be any delays with keeping the columns matched up with Revelation, because I like, if I'm on column 2 and 1, I like to be in column 2 on the other. And we'll be starting Galatians. I'm almost sure, because I looked. Oh, yeah, it'll be Galatians and then Ephesians and then James. And then we will have finished what we began, was the whole New Testament minus Revelation, because we do Revelation and Daniel at the end of each New Testament study. Started on March 2nd, 2021. And yeah, golly, so it'll be a while, won't it? It took 2 months to do Galatians, Ephesians, and James. So mid-April, so it'll be mid-May, mid-June. It'll be mid-June. So March to June. Last time it was January 2019 to March 2021. So it was 2 years and 2 months. This time it was March 2021, and it'll be till mid-June. So be more like 2 years and 3 months. Right? Yeah. Interesting. So good Lord willing, that'll be it. 413. We will start Galatians. All right. And a certain of them which were with us went to the sepulchre and found it even so as the women had said. But him they saw not. So they didn't see Jesus. Then he said unto them, O fools and slow of heart. So now Jesus is letting them know that he's there, to believe that all that the prophets had spoken. Ought not Christ to have suffered these things and to enter into his glory? And beginning at Moses and all the prophets, he expounded unto them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself. And they drew nigh unto the village whither they went, and he made as though he would have gone further, but they constrained him, saying, Abide with us, for it is toward evening, and the day is far spent. And he went in to tarry with them. And it came to pass, as he sat at dinner with them, he took bread and blessed it and brake it and gave it to them. And their eyes were opened, and they knew him, and he vanished out of their sight. And they said to one another, Did not our heart burn within us while he talked with us by the way, and while he opened us up to the scriptures? And they rose up that same hour, returned to Jerusalem, and found the 11 gathered together, and them that were with them, comma. We'll get to the rest tomorrow. I want to read that in the New Living just to get a little clarity. I feel like I understood what it was saying, but if you're reading along or listening along, or you're not very familiar with it, this will help. As they sat down to eat, they took bread and blessed it. And then he broke it and gave it to them. Suddenly their eyes were opened, and they recognized him. And at that moment he disappeared. They said to each other, Didn't our hearts burn within us as he talked with us on the road and explained the scriptures to us? And within the hour, they were on their way back to Jerusalem. There they found 11 disciples and the others who had gathered with them. Let's finish the sentence. Gathered with them, who said, "The Lord has really risen." He appeared to Peter. Now, what a coincidence that the Lord has me telling the truth about his rising. Now, he rose 2 or 3 days ago, but they have the words, "The Lord has really risen," here in this New Living. Of course, it wasn't in today's study because that's verse 34. We ended at 33. But the pagan story of Easter is pagan. Easter is a pagan holiday. Jesus died at Passover. Passover 2023. Ends on Thursday. So ends on Thursday, April 13th in the United States. Ends at sundown. So I'm not sure how it works with the Jewish calendar. But when you call it Easter and or celebrate it during the time the pagans do, because they base theirs off the seasons and the moon. And when is the Jewish Passover? I didn't want it to be for this year. I just wanted to know. So I guess April 13th is the big day. The Jews base Passover off of the sun, the new moon. We celebrate the festival of freedom. How I know how to search something pretty easy, but I'm having a tough time with how to search this. Let me pause.
Passover, Pesach or Pesach in Judaism, holiday commemorating the Hebrews' liberation from slavery in Egypt and the passing over of the forces of destruction, or the sparing of the firstborn of the Israelites, when the Lord smote the land of Egypt on the eve of the Exodus.
Okay. I said, what constitutes the Jewish Passover? I was hoping they would give us the time frame. Let me pause again. All right. It starts on the 15th day of the Hebrew month of Nisan, which is considered the first month of the Hebrew year. The Hebrew calendar is adjusted to align with the solar calendar in such a way that 15 Nisan always coincides with a Sunday, comma, Tuesday, comma, Thursday, comma, or Saturday. The Hebrew day starts and ends at sunset. Oh, yes. That much we knew. So the holiday starts at sunset. For example, in 2023, 15 Nisan is Thursday, April 6th. Therefore, Pesach starts sundown Wednesday, April 5th. Anyway, so yeah. And see, the Easter is the first Sunday after the spring's full moon. And the first full moon in spring, the first full moon in whatever Sunday is after the first full moon in spring. Spring began March 21st. We had the full moon after March 21st. The first full moon was on the 6th. So then it would be that next Sunday, which was today, the 9th. And of course, Easter is extremely pagan, extremely satanic. It's all these fertility gods and goddesses and Easter eggs and Easter bunnies. And I'm pretty sure it's based off Ishtar. Is Easter based off Ishtar? The word Easter does not appear to be derived from Ishtar, but from the German Esostri, the goddess of the dawn, the bringer of light. That's funny. So, got questions. The word Easter comes from the German Eostre, the goddess of the dawn, the bringer of light. And got questions also agreed with that. Did say that Ishtar was an ancient Mesopotamian goddess of war, fertility, and sex. There's the Ishtar Gate and all that kind of stuff. But no conclusive evidence that Ishtar is connected with Easter. He said, they said that there are several theories. Now, Got Questions is a Mystery Babylonian run website. But I use them to give Bible verses, but they won't ever end up actually telling you the overall truth in the word. And I've seen their hand signals on YouTube videos. But they do sit right there and tell you that Easter got its name from an 8th century Germanic goddess who's celebrated around the time of Passover each year. And it says even this theory has major problems. But Easter is harder to pin down to its root origins than Christmas is. Christmas is extremely easy to research as being extremely pagan, but they're all pagan. So, but I love the way the Lord had us who tell the truth land basically right on it. And at the same time, the pagans celebrate their fertility goddess. I Googled the pagans and Easter celebrations. It says, while Christmas was a celebration of the winter solstice, Easter was was rebirth of the sun and the unconquered sun and Saturnalia and all that. It says Easter was a celebration of the spring equinox for the pagans. Pagans lived their lives in strong accordance with nature's rhythms and patterns, and solstices and equinoxes were considered to be sacred times. The pagan origins of Easter. That's out of some Australia website. The pagan roots of Easter at history. .co.uk. Anybody that hem hauls around Christmas or Easter or Valentine's or any of that being pagan, if they hem haul around it, they're a Mystery Babylonian website. Straight up. Anyway, let's move on to Revelation, and we are going to ease into Revelation 17. And there were voices and thunders and lightning. This is still 16, though, 16, 18. And there was a great earthquake, such as not since men were upon the earth, so mighty an earthquake and so great. And the great city was divided into three parts. This is, anytime you see the great city in the book of Revelation, there's only one great city in the book of Revelation. And Revelation 11:8 says, refers to the great city as where our Lord was crucified. And of course, the great city of mystery, Babylon, would be where the Antichrist declares himself to be God or performs the abomination that causes desolation. So, of course, that would be the great city of Babylon. That's ground zero. It's where the Antichrist declares himself to be God. So, once Jesus was murdered there, that land became bastardized. And it says it's spiritually Sodom and Egypt, where our Lord was crucified, Revelation 11:8. And they have a pyramid with an all-seeing eye on top of the Israeli Supreme Court. And Tel Aviv is as liberal as San Francisco. And Benjamin Netanyahu is quite proud of that, with their whole alphabet letters, GBTL. I mixed them around a little bit, but you get the idea. Very big over there in Israel. So it already is Sodom and Egypt. Egypt, like I said, they have a pyramid with an all-seeing eye on top of their Israeli Supreme Court. It is ground zero for where the Antichrist will declare himself to be God. And so anytime you see the great city in the book of Revelation, that's the land it's talking about. That was the land, God's land for his chosen people. But no, that does not get fixed until God's wrath cleanses this earth. 7 trumpets, 7 bowls, 7 last plagues, and all that. 7's the number for cleansing. We've showed you that many times. 2 Kings 5:14. So the church is divided into 7 in Revelation because the church is getting cleansed. And then all of God's wrath, the trumpets, the bowls, the judgments, plagues, that's to cleanse the earth. And they're all in sets of 7s. And the great city was divided into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell, and great Babylon came in remembrance before God to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. And every island fled away, and the mountains are not found. And there fell upon men great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent, and men blasphemed God because of the plague of the hail, for the plague thereof was exceedingly great. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Now, this great whore of Babylon, this is the spiritual church of the evil side. So it's female. Church is always female. We're the bride of Christ. So evil church, female. God's church, female. We're the bride of Christ. I'm in hope of. And so this feminine, this divine feminine spirit, which is Mystery Babylon and the great whore, and Lucifer is actually Venus. So Lucifer is female. And you're like, well, the devil's not female. There's no female angels in the Bible. The devil cannot be female. And you're correct. The devil is not female. All the fallen angels were male. Satan is male. The devil is male. They're all masculine nouns when you look up Satan, so on and so forth. But Lucifer is female because Satan was made to cross-dress by God and to appear to the humans as the goddess. So that's why the pagans In Mystery Babylon of the earth, they worship the goddess, which is Satan shapeshifted and cross-dressed into a female. But he's male. But that's why the Bible refers to it as a great whore, because it's a church, but it's the evil church, but it's also repping how Satan appears as Mother Earth, Mother Nature, the Mother Goddess. And I do believe will be a feminine voice when the image that speaks. Could be wrong about that, because it's the image of the beast who was male. But the beast will be there. So it's very difficult to really grasp. We just all sheep pray that the Lord, that we are sheep, so that we don't get sent to that strong delusion that the earth will be under, believing the lie that the Antichrist rose from the dead, when obviously he didn't. It would have been a body double switch, clone, twin, body double, whatever. With whom the kings of the earth hath committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman. Now notice it's the wilderness, because their whole world's all about the tree goddess, grove worship, the Asherah. Into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. We will continue with this very deep discussion tomorrow. I love you very much. Ask questions anytime. That's what I'm here for.